Well, good day. And I'm Ruth Bowick, president of the New Horizons, and today we're at the New Horizons doing a blood pressure service for seniors in Kenora. And we have Ron Brown and his wife Val Brown here. Ron is getting his blood pressure taken, and the machine is already working. And Val is going to be monitoring things and also telling us a little bit about how did it come you got that really neat monitor. You want to just start with that, Val, about how this...
These monitors were donated to the senior center quite a few years ago, and one day I had been having some blood pressure problems, so I asked them at the senior center what happened to the machines, and they said, oh, they're in the cupboard. So we said, well, how do we get to use them? So they said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, why don't we set up one day or 2 or 3 days, whatever, that people can come in and to get their blood pressure taken. So from that, we started taking blood pressure between 10 and 12 a.m. on the first Wednesday of every month. And there's another lady that does it on the third Wednesday. So somebody comes in, we sit them down, we put the blood pressure cuff on, and this machine takes 6 readings. The first reading is thrown out because it's usually too high, and the other 5 are averaged to give you a very accurate reading of your blood pressure. We also have little cards here that we give out to people so they can keep a record. It's a blood pressure record, and they can keep this, and it has a number of they can keep it for a couple of years, when they go to the doctor, show the doctor what the readings have been over the past year or whatever time between their last visit. So it's a good service, and we're happy to do it. And I think I'll turn it back to Ruth.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't know you had these. So these got the low risk. There would be 120, excuse me, over 80. Excuse me. Medium risk is 121 to 139. And if you're really high, 140 plus. And now that would be when you would be suggesting to us that we have to go to a doctor?
Yeah. We do have a chart here. I'll just get a quick look at it, which lists different readings, starting with systolic 90 over 60, which is low. The normal is 90 to 129, over 60 to 79, and it goes from there. And we show people this so that they can see what range their blood pressure falls in. In fact, we did have a gentleman one time who was right down in the very, very high risk area, and we're not doctors or nurses, so we can't advise them other than to say, we suggest that you go to your doctor or to the emergency room today and get them to check it when it's that high. So we do, it's a service, and as I say, we have regulars that come in, and we have people that just drop in every once in a while to get their blood pressure checked.
I'd like to know, since you mentioned this one gentleman that had blood pressure was really high, did he go to the doctor, and did he, without giving any names?
No,
you don't know if he did?
We don't give names, but I don't know whether he went or not. All we can do is advise him that his blood pressure is extremely high, show him what it says on the chart here, and it's up to him.
Well, was that done here, that one?
That was done here,
So did you never see him come back again?
He
then?
never came back.
Oh, well,
So
maybe he's frightened.
we don't know.
He might have got scared when he didn't like what you told him.
Well, I don't know. We suggested that he go to his doctor or to the emergency room. And,
well, that was good advice.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
I had one lady who was the same. Her blood pressure was high, and I mentioned to her that she should go to the doctor. And apparently she went to the doctor. She came back about a month later and said to me, I'm sure happy that you told me, because I went to the doctor and now I have a prescription.
Oh, so she's taking blood pressure pills regularly.
Yeah.
So now we're at he's had our 3 runs now, eh?
Yeah.
3 runs. So he's still got 3 more to go, or 2? 3, eh? You said
6.
6.
Does 6.
So it doesn't take very long.
It takes 6 minutes.
For the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a few other. So do you think this is a good? Well, obviously now that was one of the questions. It's a good service that we have down here at the New Horizons.
I think it's a very good service.
Yeah. I understand.
We only have.
Well, that was my next. She's always ahead of me with the questions.
But other days we might have over 20.
Yeah.
Today, being the weather it is, we don't expect too many people, but even if it's only one other person, it's worth it.
That's
Because
true.
We can help them keep track of their blood pressure and their health, which are directly relates to their health.
So not to get too cheeky about yours, so far you've been a regular here, and you're happy with your blood pressure?
I'm happy with it, and my doctor is very happy with
good.
it. I take the card in every time, whenever I go to the doctor, and show it to him, and I have about 3 or 4 years on my card.
Oh, okay.
I just keep putting them on the card. I show it to him, and I say, well, look at this.
Yes, yeah.
And he looks at it and says, oh, that's good. That's the way it should be.
Let me see this. Yeah, so do you fill this out for your husband then?
We fill it.
So
yeah,
I'm going to
we
just
fill
show
it
the
out.
card here. This is what he's talking about, so he can keep a record of all his.
It's got the date and the time of day, and you put the systolic and diastolic there, and then we have made a little line for the pulse. And the reason that they take the date and the time particularly, because your blood pressure is usually lower in the morning than it is in the afternoon. So it's important that the doctor know what time of day that the reading was taken.
Good. Just because I'm going to be saying thank you in about a minute here, but I did want to mention that Ron here is the past president of the New Horizons. I took over from him, so I think the both of you get a lot more out of this New Horizons Center than just coming down for your blood pressure.
Oh yes,
Oh,
we're
yes.
here. We're here almost every day
Okay.
for one thing or another.
Even if it's just for coffee and sociability.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, in the summertime, we often come in by boat, park at the dock down on the creek, and this is our meeting place. Ron does his thing, whatever he's doing in town, and I'll do mine, and we'll meet here.
Oh, that's great.
So,
it's really you really get to use it.
It is a
yeah.
great meeting place.
It's central like that too.
It's social.
Well, I'd like to thank both of you for participating in this with me. Well, I'm back, and now I'm back with Diana Jardine, who is the office administrator here at our New Horizons Center. So now we've got you in the kitchen, Dan. So let's see. Let's talk to first Barbara, to ask Barbara what she's going to serve for lunch, and then I'll swing into the lunch. What's on the menu for today?
Well, we have pancakes and sausages, or an egg salad sandwich, and chicken vegetable soup.
That you made yourself. It's not out of a can.
No,
Oh,
out
that's
of a
good.
can.
And I see you got a pecan pie on the
Pecan
table
pie
here,
for
so that'll be
dessert.
the dessert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just great then. So you just keep stirring.
I'll just keep stirring.
You don't want it to stick to the bottom or anything. So how often do you have this light lunch for the members of the New Horizons?
We offer lunches Monday to Friday, and the kitchen is open from 11:30 until 1. And for the most part, our Judy, she's one of the ladies I work with. She prepares the fillings for the sandwiches and prepares the homemade soup.
Oh, so the fillings are already made when when
fillings
Barbara
are
comes in, or
made.
the other volunteers come in.
That's
So you
right.
have a volunteer for every lunch hour?
Pretty much,
Okay.
yes.
Do you have lunches on
Almost
Friday too? You did say Friday,
Monday to
didn't you?
Friday, yes, we have lunches.
Okay.
And also we offer coffee pots on.
I see that,
right
I
from
can-
the
yeah.
first
Oh,
thing
they-
in the morning. We make many pots of coffee. We have coffee and we offer treats.
Yeah, I see that too.
Nice
so
treats. So
Are they
people
donated,
come
or
in.
do you make the
They're
treats?
actually Judy does most of the
Oh, yeah.
baking of the treats as well.
Oh, that's-
Some
see?
of them are bought. We have to admit it, but for the most part, they are homemade, be it muffins or dainties. And many of our seniors like to come in the morning. They will say that thank God we have the center because they have a reason to get up in the morning. Many people are alone.
That's right.
And they get up in the morning. They're all by themselves, and they know if they come here, they're going
There's
to
going
be
to be
welcomed.
company. Yeah, there's companionship.
There's company for them, people their own age who may be going through the same trials and tribulations or the loss of a loved one or
Yeah.
lonely.
Or
And
just
they can
alone,
share, they can share, and they like to have coffee, they watch TV and just chit chat and have a little dainty.
Yes.
And we also have every second Tuesday, we offer a hot meal. The people who come to the Tuesday lunches, they often comment that it's so nice to come because they see many people, old friends, who they normally don't see. And oftentimes coming here for the lunch is one of the big outings
That's
of
the highlight of their day almost.
of
Yes,
their day
yes,
to
yes,
come
yeah.
and have this lunch. And again, Judy prepares the meal, and
Give me a
Kathy.
sample of what was one meal recently.
Well, yesterday we had chili.
Oh, that were perfect for the cold
And
day. Yes,
yes, we had chili, and we had homemade garlic toast. It wasn't out of a box.
Oh.
And we had Caesar salad, and we had assorted pies and ice cream.
Oh, very nice.
And
yes.
it was lovely. And also, having said that we had many cancellations due to the weather, we had people asking if they could have takeouts.
Ah.
And we were like,
The
well,
ones
of
that were
course.
here took home for supper?
They took
like,
home for others.
Oh, for others. Oh, isn't
So
that
we
nice?
had people
Yes.
who couldn't make it, and they said, is there any chance we could get a takeout? And of course they could.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And so the kind people who were here, they delivered, and we had phone calls this morning thanking us very much for the delivery,
Yeah. You
the
see how
good
important-
service,
yes.
and it gave them a nice
Right.
hot meal.
And that just shows the
for
importance
day.
of the New Horizons here for seniors. You know,
Very,
it's
very
much needed.
important.
Yes, yeah.
People, for a long time, I think we were sort of something that was here that people didn't really know that much about. Now, thanks to this showing,
Yes.
people are going to know more about it.
Yes. And what about the movie breakfast? Tell a little bit about that.
Oh yes,
I like those.
It's fun.
Yes.
And we try twice a month to have breakfast and a movie, and it starts at 9:30. And the movies are older movies, but they're ones that people seem to really enjoy. And we'll serve maybe pancakes and sausages or scrambled eggs and toast and coffee, and then show the movie.
Oh, didn't you once make Eggs Benedict, which was quite
Yes,
a
we
feat?
did.
That was good.
That was one time only.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know.
So, but it's again, they really do enjoy. And when we weren't having them in the summers for a while, and they were saying that they really missed.
Oh, really?
They really missed the movies, and also in the summer we don't have our normal Thursday exercise class, which is full to
Right,
capacity.
right. Yes, yes.
And that was a huge outing for many people. And so we decided in the summer we would occasionally have a movie on the Thursday, just to give them something to look forward to take the place of their exercise morning.
Yeah, okay.
And there again, we often had maybe 25 to 30 people come out for the
Yeah.
breakfast and a
well,
movie.
I bet you've heard some really nice comments from people about. Can you remember a few that you might get about how they appreciate this New Horizons Senior Center?
For sure. Like we were saying, as I mentioned earlier, people were saying they didn't know what they would do without the center. It just gives them a place they know they could come. Actually, we have a couple of people who have asked me, is there any chance you could be open on the weekend?
I was wondering about that. It's just
And
the staffing, is it?
we're not going to come in. We do for the movies, but without the
Oh, that's
center-
right, the movie
with
is on a
movie is
Saturday. That's right. I forgot about
but
that, yeah.
this is, they got so used to, this is what their routine is, and it just is a place where they can go, as I said earlier. And when we're closed on the weekend, they're sort of lost.
I bet, because they're so used to coming here.
Yes,
Yeah.
and again, as I mentioned earlier too, they love to come because oftentimes they'll meet people and you'll see them maybe embracing and saying, gee, I haven't talked to you in so long. It's so nice to see you here. And we had a lady come in yesterday, and it was so heartwarming because it was, you know, we had all this food prepared. People were canceling, of course, and then we were getting takeouts prepared, and it was fun, but it was very busy. And this one lady had never been before. It was her first
really?
time.
Oh, what a day to come out for the
What
first
a day!
time.
She walked.
Oh, really?
She didn't have too far to walk, but she walked. And she came up to me afterwards and she said, I had a wonderful time. I felt so at home. That was her words. And she said, I'm coming again
good.
in 2 weeks. And I said to Judy,
How come 2 weeks?
it's every 2 weeks.
Oh, so
Our
she doesn't,
Tuesday
she's not
lunch-
interested in taking
she only,
it?
This is just she's taking baby steps.
Okay,
This is,
yeah.
and she's recently lost her husband. And so she's starting
She
to
needs
get
something then like this.
into the center
Yes,
now.
she needs
and,
something like this,
So we
yes.
have our calendar that comes out every month, and she brought that home to see what is available, something that she might find interesting, and there's lots of things that we do here. But anyway, she said, I'm certainly coming back. I want to come for the next lunch. And but just to say that she felt so at home.
So comfortable, yes.
I
yeah.
just, I thought that just makes, that's what we're here for. To make people feel comfortable and want to come and have fun.
Well, I really admire you because you are certainly not anywhere near the rest of our ages who...
Oh, she's so kind.
No, really, you're not. And yet you just enjoy your work. You're
I love
working
it.
with all of
I
us.
love it.
Because most of us are like I know what the age is 55 plus, but most of us are in our 70s and 80s, you know. And yet here you are, you're fitting in so well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go off. I'm going to go something I really shouldn't do, but because that soup smells so good, maybe Barbara could put a couple of spoonfuls in a dish, and I'm going to taste it while I'm on camera and just tell everybody just how good your soup is.
It'll be wonderful. So everybody, please come on down to the center. You're more than welcome. You're going to love what we have to offer, be it our activities or the chit chat
or the soup.
Or the soup. So thank you, Ruth.
Just a spoonful.
Yeah,
because I don't want to like look greedy or anything.
No, everything is very tasty, and say everything is homemade.
So what was it today? Today it was sausages and pancakes. So that you won't make the pancakes and the soup, and the dessert,
and the dessert, and there's egg salad sandwiches.
Oh, if they don't want.
So we always have a variety.
Thank you.
Is that enough?
Oh, that's more than enough.
That looks like soup that Grandma used to make.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Taste
We're
testing.
gonna see. We're gonna just see how.
It's hot, so be careful.
Oh, the broth is lovely. Mmm. It's like from free-range chickens. Because I know I bought free-range chickens, and that broth is really.
Yes,
this is like.
it's very nice.
Well, thank you, Bob. That was very, very good. I just wanted to prove on camera to everyone how good everything is down
That's
here.
right.
Yeah. So let me just finish swallowing this, okay? There, I'll finish it later after we're off camera.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, Diana, very much, and you too, Barbara, for doing this interview for Shaw Cable on the Senior Center. And the more I come here and do these interviews with different people, the more I realize myself that how valuable and what an important part of the community that we have here, here. It's
It is
great.
very important.
And I think it's been going now for, because it would be close to 40 years.
Oh, you know.
I'm trying to think when I saw the first president out there.
Probably, because it used to be
Down by the police.
down by where it used to be the old police
Where the
station.
fire hall. Say the,
By the
everybody.
brewery now.
The brewery. The
like
fire
there
hall.
was,
So I'm sure it's been 40 years.
It's been a long time. I've been here for 10 years, and things have really come to life down here. You know, and we have more like younger people, mind you, as I get older. The new members are young, so everyone's younger to me. But we have so many new members and people that are.
Well, don't we have over 400
younger.
on the roster? Yes.
Yeah, we certainly do. Yeah, we have a lot of members.
And of course, we have to raise a lot of our own money too, because this is a not-for-profit organization.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
and that's another thing I admire Judy for. I'll be interviewing Judy for this program too, and like. That girl, she makes jams and sells them, and she makes pickles and sells them.
I don't know how she does it.
As well as do her office work and everything. So, but anyways, let me thank both of you again.
Well,
thank you very
It's
much,
been
Barbara,
wonderful.
and you did.
Thank you very much. We
And,
appreciate it.
Well, right now I'm back with you again, Diana. So,
you are.
But this time it's really an important subject here that we have at the New Horizons, and that's this handy transit service. And I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. So it's been going now for how many years in Kenora?
Oh, I honestly, I don't know. I've been here for 10 years, but it's probably been like 15 at least.
Okay. So that's the service that's been, So how many registered do we have on this, take the handy transit?
We have 214 people registered, and that includes, that might seem like an awful big amount of people registered, but that does include Birchwood and Pinecrest.
Okay.
Yes, because anybody who's in Birchwood or Pinecrest is automatically registered with
And do they have to be a
Handy
member of New
Transit.
Horizons to use the handy transit, or do they not have? Can anybody phone here for handy transit that needs it?
Anybody can be on
You don't have
Handy-
to be a member of the New Horizons.
No, the handy transit is for anybody in the community who, be it young or old, people used to think it was for seniors. No, handy transit, we have children on the handy transit.
Oh, really?
So it's for
Oh.
any age, anybody who has difficulty taking the conventional means of transportation due to impairment of any sort. It could be they could just have had a knee or a hip replaced, they could be vision impaired, whatever is their problem, where they have trouble getting into a cab, getting into a normal vehicle, they are on handy transit, but they do have to be registered.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
They do have to be registered. We have a registration form, and the top part has to be filled out by the client, and the bottom part has to be filled out by a professional, a medical professional. and it could be a physiotherapist, a nurse practitioner, whatever, and just to say that yes, they definitely do qualify for handy transit.
Okay, that's really good to know. I thought, I'm learning a lot myself about handy transit. Yeah.
Well, people have learned a lot in the last while because there was really a misconception about what handy transit was for and who could go on it.
So any minute now the phone could ring and you'd be...
Any minute the phone
if you
could ring, absolutely, and we get many phone calls
yeah.
a day, and yeah, it's we're very busy, I must say, and to contact Handy Transit, you mentioned the phone. We can phone 468-3295 or 468-8221.
Okay.
And that's the two numbers that you can phone us at.
Well, I just wish the phone would ring so that we could get an idea.
Now
there.
that we're waiting for the phone to ring, I know.
Well, in the meantime, then, besides when you have the handy transit service, where would you? Do they just can go to a doctor, or how far can they use it for?
That's a very good question. There again, people thought it was just for medical reasons, and I've had many people call me who have said just that. I have a doctor's appointment. Can you get me there? But I'd like to go to the store afterwards. Yes,
they can do that.
They can. Yes, they can go.
Okay.
Yes,
and the handy transit driver will wait when you go in.
Not necessarily wait,
What
but he will come back and get them.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
He'll say you got a half an hour, 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Or they can call us back. Excuse me.
Maybe we got a handy transit coming in.
Speak of yeah. Good morning, Handy Transit. Okay. Yes, I'll see what we have available. Just give me one moment. What time is your appointment? Okay, your appointment's for 10:30. We can pick you up at, would 10:10 be all right? Okay, and yes, that's right. Now, you don't know how long you're going to be at that appointment. So when you are finished, if you have a cell phone, you call us, or have one of the ladies at the center, at the medical center, call us, and we will come to get you. That's called a call return, because you have no idea how long you're going to be. Okay? Thank you for calling. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I never thought about to get them home, because you can't, in a doctor, any office now, you're never on time.
It's hard,
I mean,
know.
the handy transit would get you there in time, but the person will not see. You might have to wait half an hour sometimes.
Exactly, and so that's what like I just said to that lady, it's call return. They will call us, and the thing is, sometimes they may have to wait a little bit longer because we have a full schedule.
I bet you do.
And sometimes we're booked every 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, we're busy, so we have to really to wait, and sometimes they'll call and say, I've been waiting for 15 minutes.
You better answer that, I think.
So, New Horizons, Handy Transit.
Nobody there?
Nobody there.
Okay. Well, then let's continue with telling us,
Okay.
yeah. So another thing too, weekends could be popular, but does handy transit work on the weekends, or how long do they work? I think you mentioned that. What's their last
that's
shift?
Another good question. We work from, we start in the morning at 7.
Oh, that early.
Yeah, we start at 7, and we work until, well, lately it's been 4 o'clock. Handy Transit. 12 o'clock.
Where were we? Working
Sorry.
weekends.
I know the phone just
Yeah.
it just gets
Yeah.
crazy. I'm sorry, because it's kind of a dual job. We start picking up at 7. We have dialysis patients. We pick up at 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And we can be on the road till 5, but lately we haven't been. It's been until 4, and we only can be out as long as we have people booked. So I'm
Okay.
not going to keep a driver out till 5, just in the hope or the pretense that somebody might call us, because everything is usually already booked the day before. That's one of our stipulations. If you want to book Handy Transit, book as soon as you know when your appointment is.
As soon as you know it? You can't just phone up in the morning and say, I need the handy transit because I have to have a tooth pulled.
No, once in a blue moon it might work, but
not, I can see how busy you are just in the few times the phone has rang already.
I know, it's very seldom, so let us know as soon as you can.
And how about your drivers? Are they all qualified, licensed? Or
Oh
what?
yeah, drivers have to have an F license.
What is that?
It's a license that they have to have in order to drive a van of that size
Oh, I
with
see.
passengers
Oh, okay.
in it. A school bus driver would
Same thing.
qualify.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But if you drove, say, a big tandem, that wouldn't qualify because you don't have, you're not carrying like people and stuff.
Okay. Do they
you
have to have any like
have
the
an
St.
F
John's
license.
medical,
No,
St. John's
no,
or anything like that? No.
But
Okay.
you do have to have a crim check, a medical, and a driver's abstract has to be produced in order to drive, because it's very important
Okay.
that we have good drivers, and we have wonderful drivers.
that's
They're
wonderful.
very
That is
good.
nice to know,
Oh,
yeah.
we get lots of compliments on our drivers. So yes,
Well, anyways, people watching this might be like me. What is a crim? Is it CR? Is that
it's called a crim check. Just that you have nothing on your record.
Oh, I
You have
see.
a
And the
clear
other one
record.
was an abstract
Like
or
yourself,
something?
you'd have a clear
Oh, yeah,
record.
for sure.
So no, they have to be. They can't have anything on their record
Okay.
saying that they've been.
So does that mean they have to go have a police check or a Mountie check or something?
No, you go to Service Canada,
Oh.
and they'll produce it. Anything that's on your record will be. They'll have it. So then it'll come up, and then so it wouldn't
okay.
work. Something else you were asking me about. You asked about the weekends.
Yes.
And then the phone rang, and we kind of got
Oh,
off
right, I
that.
forgot about it. Thank you. Yes, for bringing it back.
We used to always drive Saturday because we had a full roster. Sometimes we even drove Sundays.
Oh.
Now we have very few people. I've even called places to see if they want to book on a Saturday to go to a tea.
Oh,
and people
okay.
aren't wanting to go out. I guess people are getting older and it's cold, and they just but even in summer, it's really hard to get people to go
So you
out.
can actually take them to a tea or something. It doesn't have to be a medical
It's
or
for
dental or ophthalmology.
anything.
I see.
It's
Okay.
for anything.
To get
You
them
can
out of
go
the
and
house. Mhm.
Visit a friend. Go and get groceries. Get your hair done. Do anything. It's just you can
Oh,
go
that's
anywhere.
what a wonderful service
within
that is.
the city
Yes,
of Kenora.
yes,
We
yes.
cannot go outside of
See,
city
I didn't
limits.
realize that you're. Oh,
No, it's
that's
for
very
I know
exceptional. Yes.
they used to think it was for medical only, but no, they can go anywhere. And like I said earlier, they can go to the doctor. If they want to leave the doctor. They want to go into Walmart. They can be dropped off at Walmart, do some shopping, and then come home.
Okay.
So
Now-
it's a wonderful service.
Well, how do you pay for this? Because this New Horizons is a not-for-profit organization.
Handy Transit's
So
non-for-profit.
Handy Transit. So how do you get your money to get? I
we
mean, you have to have
Handy-
how many drivers? About
Yeah.
3, anyways.
Well, right now we have 2. So we're always looking for drivers.
Oh,
If
okay.
anyone's ever interested, give us a call because we never know.
But you have to pay them.
Yes, we can either pay by cash or we have books of tickets. They can pay.
Oh, I see.
They
Get a
can
book. Is that you
pay-
save a little money if you
no,
buy a book?
same
Oh,
price.
okay.
Yeah, so they get
Good. Yeah,
cash. They can pay the driver or get tickets.
Okay. Now, one really important thing is, what if someone gets a heart attack or takes sick while he's in that Handy Transit
We
van?
stop the van
Okay.
and we call 911. The ambulance
Oh.
comes. The driver does not
You
touch.
don't have one of those heart machines on the.
We're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
No.
So-
And if people
So
are,
obviously they have a cell phone. The drivers.
yeah, oh yes.
Call
And
911.
if there's if people on the van do have some sort of a problem that they may go into some sort of a seizure, they have escorts with them on the van.
Oh, okay.
But the driver does not touch.
Okay.
We cannot
Okay.
touch clients.
Yeah.
No.
Well, this has been very interesting. I learned
well,
so
thank you.
much.
Well, thank
As
you.
president of the New Horizons, I'm really learning a lot of things that I should already know. So I'm so glad, Diana, you're such a treasure for me. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Thank you.
You'd have to
Well,
look for another
you're special.
president. Yeah.
You're special to
But
us.
anyways, no, this is just wonderful for it to explain to
Yes.
me and to everybody else that's going to be listening on Shaw Cable, what the Handy Transit does. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Okay.
And please call Handy Transit
Oh,
if you feel
well,
you
if I need
require
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, you never know, eh?
That's right. Thank goodness I don't need
Thank
it
you.
yet. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us today.